president. This is broken. Wow, look at the clouds. I'm hungry. Here we go. 4th of July weekend was not too long ago. Damn, it's been a week. What did I do? There's always one thing that I've always wanted to do in my 20s. That is, well, you saw in the title, I live in New York now. Why am I making this video? New York, it's a great time to move up here. Things are opening up again, or things have been opening up lively now. It's the summer, it's gonna be beautiful, and the fucking expensive. My God, oh my God. Studios in Manhattan are insane. From my experience of like trying to find a place and like gauging the right neighborhood and like moving and everything, I felt that from the perspective of working remote, priorities are going to be a little different. When you work at home 5 days a week, you are literally avoiding the hustle and bustle life that's happening throughout the streets of New York and Manhattan. You know, the subways, the trains, the cars, the bikes, the halal food trucks. No one likes being near people. So I thought a well-crafted research and thought and education and knowledge was put into this video. And what I mean by that, about 20 minutes before I went to bed last night. All right, so here's some advice for moving to New York City when you're working remote. Oh my, the notification thing keeps coming in and it's bothering. All right, I think the more important thing, there is absolutely no need for you to look for a place in Manhattan. Manhattan is expensive. Manhattan is very crowded. Right now it is Friday. I have not gone into the city once since Sunday. I love my personal distance from Manhattan. I'm about 25 minutes away from Manhattan by subway. There's tranquility. You know, I'm not a visitor in New York anymore. You guys know I go up there all the time, or I used to. Now I live here. I'm not a visitor anymore. I am a resident. You know, I don't want to be near other visitors and tourists. 2. Outside of don't live in Manhattan. It's not a place where people live. Really understand the neighborhood you're gonna be living in. So the place that I live in right now, it's in a neighborhood called Astoria. I wanted to be near a gym, walking distance to a gym. I needed to be near like a CVS or a Rite Aid, you know, like the one in Baltimore. And I wanted no more than 5-10 minutes walking distance to the nearest subway station. Really do your research, you know, maybe your priorities are gonna be different than mine, but I would say when it comes to working remote, you know, you work at home, the surrounding neighborhood is going to be very important to you. You have to understand that really matters just a little bit more. Don't live in a shoebox. Can you really see yourself being in a 200 square foot studio all day, every day? It gets cold here in New York. You're going to be inside a lot more during the winters. You're going to be at your desk 8 hours a day. You're going to be cooking. Hopefully. You're gonna get really frustrated if you live in a really, really small space. And this is kind of ironic for me to say right after saying I don't live in a shoebox, but opt for a smaller space, but much nicer amenities. And diving deeper into that, it was either get a little bit more square footage closer to Manhattan, but with shittier amenities, or like this place, it's not that big, but it is newly renovated. The appliances are absolutely fantastic. You know, it makes me want to cook more. And that's a huge plus because New York City is really, really dangerous in the food scene. It is so easy to just go out and buy food or order takeout all the time. If my stove is not attractive, I'm going to want to eat out more. And I'm saying this about the bathrooms. You use that many times a day. And I'm saying in-unit laundry. Dude, that shit makes a difference. At the end of the day, I'm not living in a studio. I have my room right there, and my roommate's room is over there. We each have our own space, and then there's common space at all. So, you know, it's big enough to host a couple people. Like last weekend. This might be a bit difficult advice, but if you've always been sure that you've wanted to live in New York City at some point in your life, don't buy so many things beforehand. I moved to Baltimore a year ago, knowing that it was going to be temporary. I didn't own any of the furniture in that house in Baltimore, and the furniture that I did have, I bought it with the intention that I was probably gonna leave it at Baltimore. The move up to New York was really simple. I asked my roommate to drive me up, but I was able to fit everything in that car pretty quickly and pretty easily, and it wasn't that much of a hassle at all. You know, the streets are small in New York. Moving is always much more difficult, much more of a hassle in New York than in other places. Be mentally prepared of the increase in rent you're probably gonna have to pay. I know it's like an absolute extrapolated outlier since we're going from COVID prices to now, but like, it's just, man, it's like criminal how expensive it is to live here. Be prepared. Understand where your finances are, you know, and if you don't move to New York immediately, even if you really want to, that's fine. I mean, I really wanted to move to New York last year, but I felt that Baltimore was a very cost-effective decision, and I got to live with my closest college friends and play Mario Kart. Oh, you guys are tired of hearing that shit. But even with all that, and there's a lot of people that say, you know, New York is not worth living in. New York is not worth paying that much money for. They might be true, but there is so much stuff to do in New York. You're gonna meet so many wonderful people and so many different kinds of people. A lot of crazy people too. And I'm absolutely grateful and I'm very privileged to be in a position where I can, you know, check off one of the boxes in my bucket list and in my dreams. And a lot of friends end up visiting you because New York is a pretty attractive place, you know, to stop by, crash at your place, and, you know, go out at night and drink and then get hungover like, oh my god, last weekend. You know, I really hibernated in this room since that weekend. I'm introverted. Man, I needed that much time to recharge. I'm gonna go out again. Before I get caught in this roof, I don't think I'm allowed up here.